What is up, everyone, and welcome back for another video. My name is Ivan, and on today's episode of Ivan's Chicano Kitchen, I will be making quesadillas. So obviously, for the most part, quesadillas are super easy to make. Tortilla, some cheese, you melt the cheese and that's it. But today I'm going to be making them three different ways. I'm going to be making a cheesy shrimp. You can call it a taco, but it's basically a quesadilla with shrimp in it. I'm also going to be making a molita. So a molita is a type of quesadilla that you find at really authentic taquerias. And it's basically like you put the cheese on the griddle, it gets crispy, then you put whatever meat you like on top of that, and then you put a tortilla on top of that, and then another tortilla when the cheese is crispy, and it's super delicious. But I'm going to be making that without any cheese. Just quesadilla, just to make it nice and crispy. And I'm also going to be making some where I take your tortilla and you put the cheese on the outside and it sticks to it and it gets super crispy, and cheese on the inside, you get crispy, gooey, cheesy, and it's going to be super delicious. So come along and let's get cooking. Okay, everyone, so the way we're going to begin our dish today is going to be super easy. We're going to take a half an onion and we're going to julienne that really thin. I have here about a pound of peeled and deveined large shrimp that I did myself. If you guys need a tutorial on how to peel and devein your shrimp, on my ceviche video I actually do a little montage of it, and you guys can see right there the way I do it, and it's super easy, and it peels your shrimp really easily. You get a better deal that way because, you know, shrimp that's already peeled and deveined costs a lot more than the one that comes with the shell on it. And here I have Monterey Jack cheese. So I would use mozzarella, but I like my cheese to have a little bit of flavor. So this one has a tiny bit, not too much. It's a little bit neutral. So with that, let's start by cutting up our onion. And then I'm going to be tossing our shrimp in Old Bay seasoning. That goes really well with shrimp. And just some salt. Not too much because there's some salt in the Old Bay. So let's get cooking. Let's slice up this onion. Then I'm going to throw the seasoning on the shrimp. Then we're going to throw that into the pan. Saute it up. And then we'll make some quesadillas after that. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this onion right here. So just same thing before. Same as before, we're going to just take our onion. We want to do a nice thin slice. You always want to have the back of your fingers to the knife. That way we don't hurt ourselves. And there it is, that's perfect. Alrighty, so we're gonna set that off to the side right over here. And then I'm gonna take my shrimp. I'm gonna just throw some Old Bay on that. Take like about a teaspoon and a half. Some salt. I like to use kosher salt. It tastes better. And we're gonna just mix that up. It's a little bit more seasoning. Just remember, we could always add more. We can't take away if we add too much. So with that, it was about 2 teaspoons. Not too much. Just enough to get the shrimp coated, because the shrimp is delicious and we want to taste the shrimp always, not just the seasonings. There it is. Our shrimp is ready. Our onions are sliced up. And now we're basically we're ready to start making our quesadillas. I'm going to be pairing those quesadillas with this delicious red salsa that we have here. This salsa is good if you want to use that for tacos, for sopes, for just about anything. It's super delicious and it's super easy to make. It's just dried chilies. You can use any kind. Guajillo. The one we use for this salsa is puya. So what I do is I take those chilies, I toast them on my griddle, and then after that I take warm water, I set that off to the side. And once the chilies are finished toasting, I cut the end off. I take out as much of the seeds as possible. Then I take all those chilies and I put them into the water, let them soak. Once the water has cooled, I blend it. All I do is add a little bit of salt and that's it. Super easy, but it's super delicious. If you want to make it spicy, you can always add chile de árbol, which is dried Thai chilies, and those are super spicy, so you always want to add a little bit if you don't like a lot of spice. If you like a lot of spice, add as much as you like. This one is like a medium spicy, but it's super delicious. It goes well with just about anything, on a burrito, whatever. But with that, we're gonna throw our shrimp and our onion into the pan next. And once that's cooked, we'll start making some quesadillas. I'll show you guys the way I make them, and it's gonna be super delicious. Alrighty everyone, so the first step is gonna be for us to take our onions that we have beautifully sliced right over here. We're gonna go ahead and toss those in, and we're gonna get those cook about halfway through, and then I'm gonna add the shrimp because the shrimp cooks super quick. So we want our onions to get nice and soft and a little bit sweet. And with that, let's go ahead and toss these in. I have a little bit of olive oil in here, nice and hot. Want that? There it is. Okay everyone, so our onions are about halfway cooked. Back here I have these jalapenos and serranos, just cooking in a tiny bit of olive oil. In Spanish we call those chiles toreados. It's basically a fried jalapeno. All you do is fry it up, add a little bit of salt because it enhances the flavor, and that's it. It's just our spice, because our salsa, like I said, is only like medium spicy, so the salsa is tasty but not spicy, so I like my food to have a good bite. So the jalapeno and the serrano is gonna definitely add that, and I'll take a big bite of that, and it's delicious. So our onions are already getting caramelized. Now we're gonna add our shrimp. So there it is, tossed in the Old Bay and the salt, and just go ahead and throw that in. There it is. As you guys can see, the shrimp's already turning pink, and nobody likes overcooked shrimp because then it just tastes like rubber. So we're gonna let that cook. Then I'm gonna set that off to the side, and then we'll start making our quesadillas after that. One last thing before my shrimp finishes cooking, I always think about a tablespoon of butter, nice little pad. Drop that in there. Let that melt, and it just adds a little bit of more richness. Okay everyone, so our shrimp is nicely cooked, as you guys can see in the pan. It's nicely caramelized, the onions are nice and soft and sweet and delicious. Over here I have my chiles toreados. All I did was toss some salt on there at the very end once I turn the fire off. But those are going to be super delicious. And here I have yellow tortillas and regular corn tortillas. So these are yellow corn and white. So this is my favorite. They just have a little bit more flavor, the taste a little bit more natural as opposed to the regular ones. But at the grocery store we go to, they actually make these fresh. So they're both actually really, really good. And the first step we're gonna do in order for us to make our quesadillas is for us to take our tortillas and soften them a tiny bit. And we're gonna do, I'd say, one of each. There's the yellow corn, and here is the white corn. I'm actually gonna throw on 2 of the white because I'm gonna make a molita. So like I said, a molita is basically, I'm gonna take these 2 tortillas, and then I'm gonna add cheese straight to the griddle. Here I have my Monterey Jack cheese. We're gonna take the cheese, put that just like that. Try to do this in a non-stick pan, it works the best. We're gonna let that get nice and melty. Now that our tortilla got a little bit of heat, you can add that right to the top, just like that. And it's gonna stick beautifully. What we gotta do is let that go. Put that right over there. And we're gonna put down another little pat of cheese. Just like that. We're gonna put that tortilla right on top of that. We're gonna take a little bit more cheese. So this is definitely for the cheese lover. You guys are gonna love this. And we're gonna put our cheese right in the middle, just like we're making a regular quesadilla. And we're gonna let that go. So this tortilla is nice and soft. So we're gonna set that off to the side. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit of my shrimp. These are really big, so you wanna just put those down just like that. Make sure you get some of these onions. Alright, so 3 big shrimp. We're gonna take that same delicious Monterey Jack cheese, put a nice little handful over that, and now we're gonna just let that get nice and gooey and melty, and then we're gonna add that to our tortilla. So I was able to scoop up the tortilla really easily. That means that our cheese is already getting nice and crispy. So you guys can see right there. We're just gonna let that go for another minute, and we're gonna put that tortilla right on top of that, and we're gonna be good to go. So this guy over here is getting nice and crispy. This is really good to go. There you have it. That's our first. This is our shrimp and cheese and onion taco, and that's all there is to it. You guys can add cilantro, onion, whatever you would like. I like to keep it simple, just like that. I'm actually gonna throw the tortilla right back on here just to get that tortilla a little bit more warm and to have the cheese stick to the tortilla. And that's all there is to it. Alrighty everyone, so here we have our 3 different kinds of quesadillas going. Here I have the cheesy and shrimp taco. So you guys can see it's nice and ooey and gooey. Our crispy outside tortilla with the same ooey and gooey on the inside. Look at that, that looks delicious. And over here I have my morita. So it's basically a quesadilla with crispy cheese on the inside. So we take our tortilla, put that on top of that. Scoop up our cheese. Put a tortilla on top of that. Like I said, typically it has some kind of meat, cilantro, onions, and the salsa. But I'm just making them simple. You guys can add whatever you would like. And we're gonna just let these get nice and warm, and we'll have a nice taste test after this, and I'll let you guys know what it tastes like. Okay everyone, so we're back at my favorite part like always, because I'm a fatty. Here I have our 3 different kinds of quesadillas. The chiles toreados, which is literally just sauteed shrimp with a little bit of salt. Our delicious red salsa that I told you guys is just dried chilies that are reconstituted in water, then blended with a little bit of salt. So now let's go ahead and take a nice little taste of each one of these, and I'll let you guys know what it tastes like. Let's start off with this shrimp taco. I've been waiting for this guy. So we're gonna grab a nice little amount of that salsa. That's super delicious. Like I told you guys, the salsa wasn't that spicy, but it gets spicier day by day. So it's actually got a good kick. It got me in the back of the throat a little bit. But that's delicious. The shrimp is juicy, plump. It has a nice little sear on it. The onion is nice and sweet. The cheese is delicious. The tortilla is awesome. And it's super delicious. Let's taste the crispy quesadilla. You guys can see it's got that beautiful crispy cheese on the outside. It's like a cheese crisp. Let's go ahead and taste that one. It's basically a quesadilla times 10. You get texture, cheesiness, double cheesiness, The sauce is great, like I said before. And it's super delicious. Let's have a nice little bite of this guy this time. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the butt. Oh no, that's delicious. Wow. I really hope you guys try this at home. It's delicious. I'm sure you guys make quesadillas all the time, but we could always spice it up a little bit, adding the cheese on the outside, letting it get crispy, making the shrimp and onion mixture with the Old Bay and salt. And here we just have a classic morita, which is the griddled cheese on the inside. We're gonna have a nice little bite of that too. Once I finish this guy, we're gonna do the red salsa on this guy. That one's a little bit softer. The cheese is really great. More simple. That's for like the kids. This is for like the teenagers. And this is for like the adults. So once again, I hope you guys like this video, guys. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, your family members. And again, Ivan with Ivan's Chicano Kitchen. Until next time, see you guys soon.